Um, Basically, a nice guy isn't actually a nice guy. He's the guy who will behave like a great friend and a wonderful person toward women, but secretly has the expectation that they'll reciprocate with sex. Most nice guys will complain very loudly that women don't like nice guys, they only like jerks, and be just a little too caring toward a lot of their female friends. And a lot of nice guys latch on to women who are dealing with hard times in their lives or who have emotional problems because their tactics work better on women whose self-esteem is in the toilet. And I know this because I've dealt with nice guys more than once in my life, especially when I was in the absolute worst places emotionally. There's always, a guy friend who was always there for me when I needed a shoulder to cry on, who would come over and stay up late with me when I was having panic attacks that were so bad that I couldn't even think about sleeping, who would listen when things went bad and celebrate with me when things went well. And a lot of girls have friends like that. And I'm not saying that every guy who has a friendship like that with a girl is the proverbial nice guy. But some of them are. And a couple of these nice guys at some point may have had potential to become more than friends. And, there were certainly some wine-fueled kisses between myself and one or two of my nice guy friends, just like there have been between myself and one or two of my real guy friends. But, in the morning we'd laugh about it and talk about it and say that it was no big deal and nothing would change between us. And if it was a guy that I suspected might have feelings for me, I would definitely do my best to talk to him and find out if he was really okay with what had happened and whether there was anything we needed to talk about. But always it would be, no, it was okay, we were drunk, shit happens, whatever, don't worry about it. And I took them at their word. Apparently, I shouldn't have done that. Because in the nice guy story, the ending is always the same. Whatever the trigger is for the eventual show of their true colors, you might get a new boyfriend, you might become more serious with the one you have, or this nice guy just might not be able to take it anymore. Eventually they all snap. They may not yell at you, a lot of them won't even talk to you directly, but they might send you a scathing email, or you might, like I did in one situation, get a phone call from a mutual friend. Bill asked me to talk to you. And the point is always the same. Regardless of what you and Bill actually discussed over the course of your friendship, regardless of, you might not even have been aware he had feelings for you, because a lot of times you won't know. You'll think this guy is just a really great friend, because they'll never say a word about being attracted to you. And regardless of whether you knew any of this or whether any of it ever came up in conversation, Bill is now pissed off that you wouldn't date him, or at least give him a pity fuck. And even if you did know that he liked you and tried to have an adult conversation with him about how you didn't feel the same way, but you value his friendship, and is that okay if we can't be friends because of this situation? I understand if there's something you need to get off your chest, whatever. He might have responded by saying that he valued your friendship too much to throw it away over something like unrequited crushes, but somehow you should have known that he was just using nice guy code for, you'd better fuck me or I'll tell all our friends that you're a manipulative bitch. Like Jeff says in the Shakesville post that I linked to here, there's nothing wrong with being attracted to a platonic friend. It happens all the time. But adults are supposed to deal with that situation by having an adult conversation, discussing their feelings, and talking about the potential outcomes of the situation. If you never explain how you feel, you can't expect the other person to just know. And if the subject does come up and you say you're fine with keeping things the way they are, it's not okay to then turn around and complain that the other person didn't somehow read your mind and see that you're not really okay with it. You need to use your big boy words and be honest with your so-called friends. And that's the real problem with these nice guys. A lot of them aren't really nice. They act nice and a ploy to try to manipulate women into sleeping with them. And the ones who really are nice guys, no quotations or special notations necessary, respect the women in their lives enough to be honest with them and not think that they're somehow owed sex in return for the emotional intimacy of friendship. So, fuck nice guys. No, I don't fucking want a nice guy in my life because a lot of them are dicks.
This woman is explaining why she doesn't like nice guys, or good black men, as they call themselves in the black community. Now, before I comment on the content of the video, I want to say this. I would have loved to have found a similar video by a black woman, made with the same clarity, providing good examples of what she's talking about. This woman is not cussing, although her tone is mocking at the beginning. She does, however, get her point across calmly, and most importantly, rationally. You may not agree with everything she says, but I think she makes her points very well and very persuasively. But then that might just be because I agree with what she says in that particular video. Now, when I recall some of the videos I've seen by black women on the topic of nice guys stroke good black man, I always come away disappointed because they never actually address the so-called good man issue in any meaningful way. They never break it down the way this woman has. She says a nice guy is someone who pretends to be a great friend to a woman in the hope that she'll reciprocate with sex. And what do I call these types of men? Pussy beggars. Later on in the video, she says that sooner or later, the so-called nice guy snaps and shows his true colours. And she's right again, because it's at the snap point that he cusses the woman out and then sets up camp on the internet to vent his rage against women and other men whom he labels thugs, deadbeats, delinquents, drug dealers, and all manner of disrespectful slur. Why? Just because she did not give them what they thought she owed them. Fucking piece of shit. These men are not to be confused with manginas, because manginas are oftentimes men who really do take what they see as the male role to cater to the weak and needy seriously. Barack Obama is a mangina, for example, albeit a misguided one. Pussy beggars, on the other hand, are just predatory scumbags who prey on vulnerable women and then go psycho when even they reject them. The woman says as much in her video. If women need protecting from any male, it is from these limping, drooling losers, not thugs. They don't care about anything but catching a woman and chaining the poor wretch to their side. They lack the personality, or game if you prefer, to attract the interest of most of the women they meet. So on the rare occasion they do meet a woman who's friendly and kind enough to entertain them, they build her platonic interest up into something much more in their own minds. When they realize that the woman was only offering friendship, then all hell breaks loose and the poor woman becomes Satan herself. Like I've said time and again, in every video they make, it's the same begging, whining, crying, thug blaming, and threats about interracial dating. You can just hear the desperation and frustration in their videos. Oh, I'm just trying to help black women. Pussies. Help them do what exactly? Hate other men even more, and leave the door open for you so that you can slime in. How come you're not trying to help your brothers fight a system that oppresses men? Why are you only concerned with pussy? Is there no other problem in the black community? Is there nothing else that comes out of the gender war? I don't think so. For you, it's all about who women choose, and trying to impress women by making other men look bad. Well, you're just a stupid bastard, and I'm finished with you. Later.